What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Comics and Crypto, your source for everything collectible. What's up, Spencer? Love the shades.
Hey, thanks. I am once again outdoors. not by choice this time. I'm currently stranded in Buena Vista, Colorado. My car didn't have enough gas to get back, and literally right as I pulled up to the gas station, all the power in the entire town went out, so I can't fill up gas. So I'm stuck in this town like an hour and a half from home. So hopefully I'm able to leave sometime soon. But for now, I'm taking the call from a park.
You sound great. Well, we're really excited for today's episode, guys. We are going to be highlighting James Gunn's success with Superman. We're going to go over that news and what this means for your DC collectibles long term. We've been speculating on this for some time. We want to dive a little deeper into it, what this could potentially mean. Also, we have a lot of other really great news. And of course, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Fanable, which we're going to dive into. That dropped today, up, and away. Sold out within minutes. Huge success. So we're going to go over that drop as well. So let's start off with the giveaway. Guys, we're giving away this Funko promo card, limited to only 1,000 editions. This card was given out in 2023 during San Diego Comic-Con. It's graded CGC 9, and we're giving away to one lucky winner. Big shout out to our collaborator, VHS Bible. We're working with them to give this away to one lucky winner worldwide. So make sure to get involved by going to our Twitter account. It's pinned to the top of our tweet. Our Twitter account. Our tweet is pinned to the top of our Twitter account. That was a tongue twister. So if you want to get involved, make sure to go to our Twitter account and sign up. Follow the instructions. It's a lot of fun.
This is a card that was personally redeemed at Comic-Con by Michon and Kevin. So yeah, there's something that we personally picked up when we bought some promo packs when they first released those, and then dropped them off and got them graded immediately. Literally picked them up right from the booth and walked them straight to CGC.
Yeah, definitely. So this is a cool card from our personal collection. So we're excited to give this to somebody worldwide. Really excited about that. We'll get to that in a second. First up, Fanable. Up, and away dropped today. The mystery case with amazing collectibles was an instant sellout. Congratulations to the Fanable team and everyone that was able to acquire one. I've seen sales up to 50% above retail in the marketplace.
I just sold a pack for $150 actually.
$150?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, picked up 2 on the drop, opened one, bust, got something, took the $40 offer, and then just sold the second one for $150.
Yeah, that is incredible. Congrats, man. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I just listed it and it pretty much immediately sold. And yeah, it's like the next lowest one is $220. So if you got a case, it'll probably sell around $150 or maybe even higher if you're holding on to it.
The floor is $219.78. Someone tried to undercut the $220. I tried the $220 out of spite. I appreciate the move. But yeah, it was an instant sell today. We still haven't heard any news about the Grail being claimed. So for everyone,
I think maybe that's why they're selling, just because the Grail hasn't been claimed yet.
Right. Yeah. So this comic is signed by 6 Superman legends, both live action and voiceover. This comic is valued at $1,300 with an instant buyback offer of, I think it was $1,150. It's 90% of that value. So Fanable will offer you an automatic buyback offer for 7 days. So you have 7 days to decide once you open up this comic. So good luck out there, guys. We hope you land it. It's amazing. And again, big shout out to the Fanable team for the sellout. This is a very, very excellent drop and very timely with Superman being released tomorrow, which is also my birthday. Whoop, whoop. Let's go. Planet Death. Planet Death #1 has released on Vivi. Planet Death 0 released earlier. That was the Comic-Con exclusive variant. And now Planet Death #1 is officially launched, and it's also on Vivi. I thought it was 2,000 editions. I don't know where I saw that. It could be more. It might be 3,000 or it might be higher. So apologies if that's not accurate. They might have lined it up with the publishing year, like 2025.
Yeah, that's what they did for #0. So
they did for 0. So I'm assuming that's what they did for Planet Death #1. So
yeah,
very good, very good. So that's available right now, guys. And also, if you get all the variants, they're going to airdrop you a poster similar like before.
Yeah. The poster they did for #0 was awesome. It was so cool.
Very cool. And this is the poster that you can get. So if you land it, yeah, very cool. So make sure to get going on that. Let's go over some of our bounties. We still have an active bounty for the count. It's a bounty race. Apparently, nobody has minted 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 yet. Make sure to always check Stacker World to see if it's been minted. So 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoever gets this, please make sure to email us in the tweet. Contact us. The first person to mint one of these numbers and email us will be able to claim the bounty. So keep in mind, I know that the secret rare was already minted. 1, 2, 3 was minted for the secret rare, but 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't believe have been minted yet. Make sure to always check Stacker World. So if you land it and you want to sell it to us, make sure to let us know because it's a race. It's a race to the finish line. The Maserati Alfieri, mint 2014. We have a $1,500 bounty out for this one. This is the last mint number and also the year of the car's release. So if you land this, make sure to hit us up before the deadline. And we'd love to acquire this from you. So we had a bounty out for Nova 1976. We had a $1,000 bounty. Actually, Cali Comics Store counted our bounty for 13. I think it was like 1,300 or something like that. It was around there. He went hard on this. Everyone else chatting with him about it. He's really excited about this comic, as he should be. This is a very significant key. This is one of the earliest comics that I actually purchased as well. Very cool comic. It ended up being minted by Vivi. So that happened. Really cool today. I believe it was earlier today. I think it was today. Vivi announced that they are going to airdrop the 1976, which I believe was a common, to the person that landed 976, which ended up being Cali Comics Store.
Look at that.
That's like the most serendipitous situation ever. And he also apparently I think it said on there he minted the most. I know he minted a lot in the store, but I think in there it says that he also minted recognized education of the comics by collecting and airdropping. Oh, as a top purchaser and also proud holder of 976.
Nice. Cool.
That's incredible.
Yep. I couldn't think of a more deserving person to get it.
100%. 100%. So we're thrilled for him. I mean, the fact that he had a bounty out for it too. We're thrilled for him. So cool that he was able to obtain this mint. 1976. So cool. So congratulations. It's also the year my dad graduated high school.
Speaking of which, we'll say hi. What's up, Cali Comics?
Yeah, what's up?
Appreciate it. They also look at this. They also flip up.
Change it up on us throughout the stream. That's amazing.
What's going on, Chris?
Sorry. Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to cut you off there. What's up, Chris? Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining. Okay, thanks for confirming that. So 2025 editions for Planet Death #1. Very cool. Very, very cool.
500. That is a stack. Holy shit, man.
500.
Yeah, you definitely deserve to get that airdrop to you for sure.
That's cool. I think there was only 3,000 editions. So do the math. What's that, like 30%? No, 40%? No. Spencer, help me quick. I think it's like 30%.
I'm just gonna let you keep going on it.
You're still in the supply?
I think it's like 12.5%.
Oh, it's 12%.
Somewhere around there.
That's amazing. OCD killing me out off one. That's amazing. Yeah, congratulations, dude. That's an unbelievable stack. That's incredible. So again, big shout out to Cali Comics Store and congratulations on obtaining that mint.
And shout out to Vivi for making that happen as well.
Yeah, super cool. They knew that people were going after it. There were multiple bounties out for it. So big shout out to them for making things right. So that is awesome for them to do that. I really appreciate it to hear that. That was really cool. Went over this drop today. This is really cool news. Detective Comics 31, a comic that's really highly ranked in our rankings for DC. This is considered one of the best Batman covers ever, one of the most valuable Batman covers ever. The floor for this is $140, guys, for the packs. $140. That's 7x.
What is the secret rare going for?
Around 4. I saw the floor recently was 400. So I'm kind of shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked. Yeah. I think it speaks
that math doesn't quite add up. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't add up, but it does. I think it's because the packs are a lot more scarce. So I don't know if I think at the time it was probably like an $800 floor when it reached 140 for the secret rare or legendary, right? So it's probably a lot higher, but someone probably floored a $400 legendary. So that probably happened after this reached up, and people are holding on to them. Like people aren't trying to floor underneath this. This has been 140 for like a few days, so it's incredible to see it. I mean, this is what's been exciting, right? We know that physical packs that hold really significant cards from like the early 2000s. I mean, shoot, all the way back to the 50s. I mean, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle Topps 1952 pack, those packs sell for tens of thousands of dollars. I think actually they sell for over $100,000. Just one.
We just talked about it last week. The guy who's trying to sell the sealed Pokemon, the X-rated sealed Pokemon pack.
Oh, right. What, 25, 30,000?
I think he's trying to sell it for 30,000, which is like the price of like the last sales price of a Gem Mint 10 Charizard.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's incredible. It's fun to see this. See, this is stuff we've been speculating on. Packs raising up in value when you see the legendary or even the other variants go up in value. So like when the common's above $20, it just makes, or above like $50, $60, it makes sense for the packs to raise up in value too. Obviously, people are going to be, it's going to be very contingent on the legendary for sure, because there's only 100, I think 100 variants or 100 editions of the legendary. So as long as that continues to go up in value, so will the packs. It's exciting to see. What's interesting too, though, guys, I keep this in mind. Always keep an eye on how many are left, because the beautiful thing about the blockchain and also Candy Digital's website, you can see how many legendaries are still in packs. So kind of like on Fanable, right? When you see the big grail or the big chasers, they're all hit, the packs will go down in value because there's nothing to really chase after anymore, right? That makes sense. So it's important to keep that in mind. Keep an eye on the legendaries, how many are still sealed, because that'll determine the value of the packs as well.
Yeah, and also pay attention to the mint number on the pack. Might be a viable mint.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like 19, was it 30? When did this comic come out? I think it was 37. 37. Not 37. I think it was 39. But yeah, like those.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, somewhere it's in the 37. Actually, it might have been 37, 38, somewhere like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that range, yeah.
Publishing year for this comic for the pack would be very significant. So make sure to not open that. That'd be a huge miss. And also like number 31. That's the edition of the comic itself, right? So yeah, it's really fun to see this, guys. Really fun to see this. A huge sale in the NFT space. We saw a Lionel Messi Prism 1 of 1. Oh no, sorry, 8 of 10.
Out of 10.
It's out of 10. Not even 1 of 1. 8 out of 10. Prism Digital Lionel Messi World Cup from 2022 sold for $30,000. $30,000. You know, I haven't really dived much into this space. When we go to Comic-Con, Spencer, we should talk to a lot of these platforms.
Yeah, well, Panini will probably have a booth at Comic-Con.
I would presume. Oh yeah,
so we can maybe go chat with them. Maybe somebody from the NFT team will be over there.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear that siren.
A little bit, yeah. It's okay. Please hold.
No, I was just gonna say I feel like I haven't dove too deeply into the sports NFT space since Top Shot.
Right.
So, yeah. I watched that run up and didn't sell when I should have, and so now I've kind of just been angry about it.
Yeah, but I mean, what's interesting too, right? This is directly referencing the sports card market. Like Top Shots was more highlighting moments, original created collectibles, kind of what we see on Candy Digital, which a lot of them do very well too, depending on the player and the scarcity and everything. But these are directly referencing the sports card market, which is just like blowing my mind. It continues to blow my mind every day. I mean, there was a T1, a T2 Honus Wagner card. It was graded 1. It had a reserve price on auction and didn't even sell for $4 million. Didn't sell.
The bids got up to 3 something though, right?
No, it reached over 4.
Oh, it did reach over 4. Oh yeah.
It didn't sell.
So didn't the reserve, yeah.
I'm assuming the reserve was probably at least 5 or 6, but yeah, I mean that card's just an absolute monster.
But yeah, Cool. I'm excited to dive more into Panini. I've heard of a few big sales recently. So
Yeah, it's interesting though. Keep in mind, like Panini has lost their license for like the NFL. Topps is also crushing it in the sports card market. Topps now, especially, I think a lot of those collectibles aren't even licensed, and they're still selling like crazy.
it's insane. Yeah, I'm still hold on to my my Topps whatever S1 cards from they were on the Wax blockchain from however years ago.
Yeah.
Those are the first baseball cards on chain. So my fingers crossed those will be worth something one day. Yeah, I got a couple of Mike Trouts.
Yeah, if there's any, especially if there's any cards that are worth chasing, but that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I love to see this. I love to see the big NFT sales or digital collectible sales. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's both.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah. Trying to refrain that word. Although they directly said Panini NFT, that's unofficial. That's awesome. It's probably been around for a while. But yeah, very good to see that. So, why did this bag sell for over $10 million today? $10 million, guys. I think it was like 7 or 8 million euro. Well, this is the original prototype of a Berkman bag from 1985. Birkin, not Berkman.
Yeah.
Original prototype. This is the OG. This is the original. And it sold for over $10 million today.
Yeah, these bags are insane. I mean, these bags are all very, very collectible. People buy them as investments. Like, don't even wear them. They'll just have like a closet full of them just for literally. They just hold their value incredibly well. It's insane. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on these bags.
Yes, yeah, and everyone out there, so Birkin is a brand that's worth over $250 billion. $250 billion. That's worth their company's valuation. And their bags, even today, like the new bags that sell, are an average price of around $12,000. That's the average price for a Birkin bag.
Yeah. Wow. This is super cool. The prototype sold for this. Do you know, is this the only prototype, or do you know if were there more?
I mean, there may have been, but this is the OG.
This is the original OG one.
Original OG Birkin bag. Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. For $10 million. And a big shout out to our friend Will Stern for posting this. That is so awesome. So
not gonna lie, like 10 million almost seems a little cheap for it. Like I feel like it should have been more.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, I think that it's probably a very solid investment. I mean, it's obviously a museum piece. As long as the brand continues to crush like it has been and continues to do, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. It's absolutely incredible. And it finally happened. Finally happened after 14 years.
I was just sitting on the census.
19,500 graded copies of Ultimate Fallout 4, first appearance of Miles Morales. And that's just the cover A. That's not like the second print or third. I think there's a third print or other variants. 19,500 graded of just cover A on the CGC census alone, not even CBCS. The 9.8 currently has 4,478 graded copies. Just the 9.8. That's it. That's nuts. That's one of the highest graded by far for a 9.8. And even on top of that, the market cap, the comic 9.8 copy is right now at $900. Its all-time high was over 3,000. I remember that. I was watching it. Because I remember the 9.8 comic when it was around $400. That was back in like 2017, 2018. And then the game announcement came out and just shot through the roof. And then Spider-Verse, and then the rest is history. That's before Miles Morales is introduced in the MCU, which inevitably he will be. So right now, the market cap for a 9.8 is $4.03 million. So what would a one of one 9.9 be worth? I don't know. It's currently on auction, by the way.
It's going to go for an insane price.
Comic Link has announced that it's going to be on auction soon. It's already up on their website. So we'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted on the sale. I will say that I think a lot of big investors in comic books are going to be a bit apprehensive. Because even this copy...
Why? Because there might be another one that'll show up?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a new screening process for CGC. Apparently, it's going to make it easier for 9.9s and 10s to show up. So I anticipate now that this has happened, a lot of people are going to crack their 9/8 and get them regraded.
True. That's a good point.
So I think that could actually hurt this sale because a lot of the big whales know this information, right? They whatever money spent on this, which I would be shocked if it's anything under $50,000. It's got to be over
I mean,
$50,000.
like that, like the really like the secret rare on VV, but the variant for this, like that sold for what, like 30,000 before, right?
Man,
That's had some pretty. It's had some pretty high sales on the 9.8 for the variant, right?
and the 9.8 that was around like 15. That was around like 25, 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
The 9.
So I mean, like,
yeah.
I mean, obviously during a very hype time in the market, but
It's so interesting though, right? Like how many more are going to emerge over time? We don't know. There could be a 10, which will definitely hurt the value of this. I mean, it's still going to be a rare. It's going to be in a rare space. It's going to be in a floor of itself, right? And I don't anticipate there being a ton of 9.9s and 10s in the future, but anything's possible. We don't know. I think the biggest conflict that people have right now is that this comic, there's like a tick on its spine. And apparently CGC has come out and talked about that. And they said that doesn't affect the grade. I don't know.
because it's part of the manufacturing process.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's tough, guys. I mean, it's going to be the talk of the town for sure during Comic-Con. Everyone's going to be talking about this for good and bad. But I'm very excited to see what the sales for, given all that information, right? I think 50,000 is very conservative, but it's very possible we could see over $100,000 for this comic. You're on mute, Spencer.
Oh, I just saying we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep you posted, guys.
Yeah.
I will say, regardless, a sale like that, we've been talking about that for so long, and I know a lot of collectors have been talking about that. You know, how can there not be a 9.9? There's been over 4,500 graded 9.8s and not one 9.9. That's insane. I know that these comics were released in like a poly bag, so I know that didn't help much, but still, out of 4,000 plus copies as a 9.8 alone. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. But yeah, very exciting news. We'll see how it turns out. We'll definitely keep you posted, guys. Back to the Future Day was the other day. It was on July 3rd. It was 40 years ago, the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. We were lucky enough to acquire this first print of Back to the Future VHS tape. That was like 2 years ago. We got it graded by CGC. And we ended up cracking it out and get it signed by Michael J. Fox. So we're just now waiting for yellow labels for CGC home video, because then we'll be able to get the signatures authenticated. Right now, if you submit a signature on your VHS tape, it'll have a green label, which means like unverified signature, which is kind of nuts because
and we have a friend who has another copy of this in much better condition, but has a signed copy, and he just sent his in, and he got a green label. So
yeah, got a green label on it.
Yeah, which I mean, it's still obviously an incredible piece, but like with the yellow label, it just looks so much better.
Just like it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. You have JSA authentication, which he does because we got that authenticated for him at Salt Lake City Fan Expo. So that was nuts. That was a lot. Remember how stressful that was? And we have like a potential 50,000.
Yeah, that was insane.
Signed for him,
Yeah.
and then we got signed soon after. So there are less than 10 known sealed copies of this in existence as of now. I fully expect more to pop up in the future, but the supply will never reach the demand for these. Actually, what's crazy is a 9.8 actually popped up first print Back to the Future.
I just saw that. Yeah, insane.
They're definitely trying to sell it because it posted for 30,000, and then I hearted it or to follow, and I got an offer for $7,000 off, so it's like 23,000. I just can't imagine that sitting much longer. I mean, really, it doesn't get much better than that. Now the question is, I'm curious if anybody has any thoughts about that out there. What would you rather have? A 9.8 of Back to the Future VHS. It's A++ steel, by the way. Or a signed copy that's like a 9.2 or a 9.4 from Michael J. Fox. And again, keep in mind, there's less than 10 known sealed in the world right now. Which one would you rather have? Tell us in the comments. And by the way, guys, if you have any questions about collectibles, please let us know. We'd love to answer your questions about collectibles, Exciting stuff.
Yeah, I think. What would you personally want of the two?
I want the signed copy. A 9.4,
Really?
9. Take that. Yeah, totally.
I think I'd rather have the 9.8.
That's what's the beauty about this, right? We
I
have
mean,
different.
it's the top grade.
It's the
So I
top.
mean, assuming it's the, then it probably won't be beat out. I'd be shocked if somebody beats a 9.8 A plus plus seal. Like that's as good as it gets. So
It is.
yeah, like having the top grade, I think at the end of the day, like that's like where like the big sales happen. So, but that being said, the signature is worth a lot too. So
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I feel like especially whenever Michael J. Fox passes away, that obviously always increases the prices of the signature, which is just an unfortunate part of how the hobby works.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. California Comics 2-1, Spencer.
Who's on my side? Who's got my back?
Lower grade with the signature.
I might be thinking that because I already had the lower grade with the signature. I already own that one, so now I want the high grade.
If that bag is worth 10 million, he's referring to the Birkin bag prototype. This sold for $10 million. How much would a 1-in-1 Luke Skywalker lightsaber cost?
Hey, well, if somebody wants to offer us 10 million for it, you know where to find us.
Appreciate the nod there. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, right? I mean, I think it just comes down to personal preference, but I think in terms of value, people who value the 9.8 will spend a lot on it, but people who value signatures, especially if there's only 2 out of the 10, I don't know. It's tough. I don't think anybody who buys that 9.8 is ever going to crack it out of the case for any reason.
No, the 90's not going to get a signature on it. No,
you can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, as of now, I'm presuming it's a 1 of 1. But we fully expect more first prints to show up. It's just inevitable. More will show up over time. But how many? I don't know. I'm excited for CGC to release the pop reports. We need those pop reports. Those are a really big deal.
Yeah. I mean, but we need pop reports from every grading company.
Yeah.
At
least
hopefully Rewind releases theirs before things fully get shut down for them.
Yeah. So unfortunate news, Rewind grading is no longer going to be around. They're in talks right now to kind of figure out how to keep the company going, but it was a lot. It was a lot for them personally, and it's more for personal reasons, guys. I'm gonna be very clear. It's not about it's not that they don't believe in the sealed media market. They're very bullish on it. It's just a lot to run a company like that. And they were doing well, but it was just a lot for them personally. It's a very small team. Great guys. I talk to them often. But yeah, I'm still very, very excited about my Rewind cases, and a lot of them I'm never going to take them out of the case as long as they're in my collection, So
yeah, I mean those cases are indestructible.
They're amazing. These stack so perfect.
You can run them over with a Cybertruck.
Yeah, they're my favorite cases by far. So
yeah, so I'm hoping somebody acquires them who is going to be able to continue, just making great products. I mean, I love CGC and like what they're doing too, but I think Rewind has a superior product. You definitely pay more for it, but in terms of the display and in terms of the safety of your item, there's nothing better. So yeah, I'm hoping they're able to continue in some way. But they did just announce they're doing one final round of grading. So if you have anything that you'd like to get graded by Rewind, I think you have until the end of the month, or maybe even like it's like the 18th or something like that. But it's like basically a week or so, maybe a little bit longer to get them graded. But yeah, you can still do VHS or CDs or cassettes.
Yeah.
So if you have anything cool that you want to get graded before it's too late, now's the time to do it.
If you want more information on that, guys, make sure to go to Rewind Grading on Instagram. They did a post about it, or you can contact us directly and ask us for more information. We're happy to help you out. I'll probably just do a tweet about it soon anyways, but yeah, definitely get involved, guys, because if you have a really nice collectible that you want for your collection, get it graded by Rewind.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. No hate towards CGC or Beckett. No. Great brand, great team. We know them also very well. Fantastic people. Obviously, very respectable brands. But the CGC cases are they're just fantastic.
Rewind cases.
Oh yeah, Rewind cases. All right, guys. quick break from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
This video is sponsored by Fanable. Fanable is changing the game, combining physical collectibles with digital ownership. Send in your graded comics, cards, VHS tapes, video games, and action figures to be securely stored and insured in a Brinks vault for free, while maintaining full control of your collectibles through blockchain technology. That's right, free shipping, free storage, free insurance. Join the weekly curated mystery cases for a chance to score a grail, or sell it instantly with their 90% buyback option. It's fast, it's fun, and it's a whole new way to open packs. Secure, manage, and monetize your physical collectibles all in one place. You can download the Fanable app on iOS and Google Play, and also go to fanable.io.
Yeah, Fanable.
So earlier, go Fanable. So earlier we talked about this Honus Wagner card, the T206 Honus Wagner card. And guys, everyone out there who doesn't know what this card is, this is considered probably the biggest grail when it comes to not just sports cards, but cards in general. Honus Wagner is one of the OG legends of the game. And these cards were given out in packs of cigarettes. Honus Wagner was famous for being anti-smoking. So he got very upset about this, and they pulled his cards from the pack. So only a few survived. Today, there are less than, I think, 50 known copies in existence. And I think a record sale for it was around, I think, $10 to $12 million, maybe around there, 8 to 12, somewhere between 8 to 12 million. This copy, which is a 1 grade by PSA, look how old that case is, had a high bid of $4.15 million on Golden Auctions and did not meet the reserve price, which means it didn't sell. On items like this that have this much prestige, there is a reserve price, which means if you don't hit the minimum of that reserve, it's not going to sell. Basically ensuring the seller an opportunity to reach a certain limit. And for big prestigious items such as this, they'll do reserves.
Yeah, and it's possible that this was on Golden, right?
It's on Golden, yeah.
And it's very possible that Golden made some kind of a deal guaranteeing the reserve or something like that. Like, we'll give you $200,000 or something like that, just to guarantee you selling it with us versus Heritage or a different auction house. And sometimes they make like guarantees like that, and that's why the reserve is in play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a chance Golden got kind of burned on this. We'll see.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe we'll hear the story about it on a future season of King of Collectibles.
Yeah, I still need to finish season 2. It's great.
Oh, you never finished season 2? Nice. Yeah, you gotta watch that.
I'm actually at the New York Comic Con episode from last year, so.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, you definitely gotta watch that.
You watch that one, yeah. That's great. This is really cool, guys. So this is an original 1981 first print VHS of The Shining. The movie came out in the 70s. However, VHS tapes didn't really take off until about 1979, 1980 in the United States. And the first print of The Shining came out in 1981. It was never actually sealed with plastic. It only had a sticker like this on the side to prove that it's still sealed. It's not easy to fake these, especially with the trained eye. With people like, with big grading companies. But anyways, this raw tape sold for $5,000.
Huge sale.
Huge sale. This is a grail. This is a massive grail. Grail of arguably.
You don't see these very often, even unsealed.
This is incredible. Yeah. It's really exciting to see continued sales like this in the VHS market. Really awesome. Very validating. And I think it's just only going to grow over time. The market's not really slowing down. I think the biggest problem is that, the resources. And again, big shout to VHS Bible. If you haven't checked out VHS Bible yet and you're interested in getting involved in the VHS market, and also beta, they do VHS and beta, go to vhsbible.com, where you'll be able to get all the information that you need about VHS tapes and beta. You want to learn about first prints. You want to learn about promo screeners, Academy screeners, all things that we're excited about. We actually sold an Academy screener for Lord of the Rings Return of the King. It was graded by VGA, sold for $3,000. And Monster Grail. So if you want to learn about the VHS market, you want to know exactly what you're buying, They have visual examples that you can download a PDF directly from the website.
Or you can also view it directly on their website too if you're worried about downloading files
Yeah.
from the internet, which is fair.
Right. Totally. Yeah, you have both options. So you can download it directly as a PDF, or you can just view it on the website as well. But it'll give you visuals. It's fantastic. Great resource.
Yeah, it has been endorsed by the graders of CGC, Rewind, and Beckett. So,
Exactly.
the information there is accurate and comprehensive. And yeah, we're also partnering with them on a giveaway. Sean, you want to pull that up again for the people who missed it in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're giving away a promo card of Funko Pops. When Funko Pop originally released their trading cards at Comic-Con a couple years ago, bought these, and everybody who bought a box of promo cards got one of these, or a box of the Series 1 cards got one of these promo cards, and they are numbered up to 1,000. So we got this at Comic-Con, we got it graded, and now we're partnering with the VHS Bible to give it away. So go to our Twitter account and go to the pinned tweet to enter.
Yeah, you can see on the top right there, this is number 474 out of 1,000. Very cool collectible. All right, let's dive into it. Grails, DC Grails. This is exciting times, guys. We've been really excited about James Gunn taking over the DC universe. He has an unbelievable proven track record for his films. Absolutely crushed it. His shows,
especially superhero films.
Yeah, and his shows are amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen his shows on Max. They're absolutely fantastic. They're so good. He's crushing it. He's coming out with a bang. Superman finally came out. It currently has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes with 248 reviews, and a 96% with over 1,000 verified ratings from viewers, which I personally love. I mean, critic reviews, take that for a grain of salt, but when it comes to the fans, that's a big deal. Again, this is a very small sample size. Once it hits 100,
after tonight, I think we'll have a better idea.
Yeah, after probably the weekend.
The weekend for sure. Yeah.
Once it hits over 100,000, that's when it's like, okay, that's a big sample size. And if it stays above 90%, very good. Either way, this film is on track to do very well. And it's a great start for James Gunn.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, right? So DC films in the past haven't been great. Marvel came out in 2008, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We didn't really know what we were expecting, but they started out with a bang. Technically, Incredible Hulk was the first film in the MCU, but everyone remembers Iron Man the most, being the OG MCU film. And from there,
I will say that there are some exceptions with DC, like Dark Knight, obviously, and
that's different though. That's not the cinematic. The DC.
It's not the cinematic universe, but DC is that they've had some good films. I want to clarify.
Yeah, the Christopher Nolan films are amazing. Yeah. I even think that the other Batman films are pretty good. So, but they're definitely going to. Those are their own thing, which is kind of crazy. They're gonna release a Batman 2 with Matt Reeves, and then they're gonna create their own version of Batman. So they're gonna have all these different Batmans running around. I don't know. Sure, if it works, yeah, I'm all about it.
People like Batman movies. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, Brave and the Bold is apparently being worked on the script. He's very thrilled about it. James Gunn has been very vocal too about scripts and the quality control, which is all the things you want to hear, right? That's the important thing. Like, this film was so important to come out with a bang, make sure to set a tone for his DC vision, and I feel like he's done a good job. I mean, I'm going to see the film tomorrow on my birthday. Boo whoop. So I'm excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll keep you guys posted on my thoughts. But what does this mean for your collectibles? Well, Marvel, when it came out, comic books were still doing pretty well back in 2008. But once the MCU took off, popularity blew up. People who didn't really read comics but watched movies fell in love with these characters, and they want to invest in their characters. And how do you do that? Well, the first medium ever to introduce these characters were in comics. So let's reference Iron Man, for example. Tales of Suspense 39, released in 1963. This is considered a grail among collectors, worth probably, I think the 198 sold for almost $1 million, which I think is significantly undervalued, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. But let's look at the track record. Here's an example for an 8.0 grade. I tried to find copies that had like at least 50 to 100 copies on the census. So this 8.0 grade back in 2008 was valued around $10,755. The MCU started taking off. 12,000, had a bit of a dip here in 2012, but then 2015, 13, 15,000, 24,000, 32,000 in 2018. This is like peak MCU. This is around Endgame. Had a big dip back in 2020, down to 19,000. Apparently, it was a $19,000 sale. Then it shot up again in 2020, same year. This is probably when the boom took off in 2020, 2021. And now an all-time high was in 2022 with $43,000. So looking back in 2008, $10,755 to the all-time high of $48,000. Basically about, what, 4x? 5x? 4x.
4 to 5x, yeah.
5x. It's dipped down a little bit back to 32,000, and it's settling right now apparently around $37,000, which is still really good. So you're looking at least 3x from 2008, 3x your investment. That's impressive. That's impressive. Let's use another example. During the Mystery 83, first appearance of Thor, released in 1962. Thor became a very popular character like Iron Man. Here's a 7.0 grade. Back in 2008, when the MC started, it was less than $6,000. And then Thor had its own film come out in like 2011, 2012. Started to go up a little bit. 8,000 peak. Here's Endgame. 19,742. So you're looking at another 3x. And then in 2022, it shot up. All-time high, $62,000. That's nuts, guys. From 2008, 6,000 to 62. It's a 10x.
I mean, even just to the end game date is still, a 2x, 3x, right?
Yeah. And it's settled back down around $20,000. But yeah, I mean, that's which is still, you're looking at a 5. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. You're looking at 3 to 4x. Even when it's settled back down a little bit, That's incredible. And this is all because, and I want to say majority of it is because of the MCU, the success of the MCU. And you've seen it dip back down a little bit because the MCU, let's face it, kind of fell apart a little bit. Fingers crossed they figured it out. And onward but upward. But after Endgame, we had the Spider-Man film, and then after that, it kind of just faltered a little bit. And that's when the whole superhero fatigue concept came out. And I love how James Gunn has come out and talks about that. He's like, they're bad scripts. At the end of the day, they're just bad scripts. And that's what he's been emphasized with DC. And I love that because now finally DC is a competitor. A serious competitor to Marvel. And you want that. Apple wouldn't be who they are without Microsoft, and Microsoft wouldn't be who they are without Apple. You need that competition. And I'm super happy to see it. Another example, Amazing Fantasy 15. I think this one especially probably didn't need help from the MCU. So take this with a grain of salt, of course. Here's a 6.0 graded copy. Back in 2008. It was already at almost $19,500 for a 6.0 copy back in 2008. That just shows the popularity of Spider-Man. But around 2018, when Spider-Man was reintroduced to the MCU, $60,000. So you're looking at 3x, all-time high. You're looking at $96,000, almost $100,000 for a 6.0 grade, so almost a 5x. And now it's settled back down to 70. Apparently, in June of 2025, there was an $81,000 sale. There we go, right here on Heritage.
Oh, wow. There we go.
Amazing. That's amazing. Very impressive. But again, going back, this is a huge contributor to the MCU. So what does this mean for your DC collectibles? Well, we're not just talking about physical comics here. We're talking about also digital. Marvel Comics on Vivi. Digital collectibles on Candy Digital for DC. A lot of opportunity here, guys, especially DC, which in my opinion dominates the golden age. A lot of the comics on here have less than 100 copies graded. It screams scarcity. I mean, All American Comics.
Yeah.
Flash Comics 1, Wiz Comics number 2. Scream scarcity. Absolutely incredible. Why don't we take a look at some of them right now? So I pulled up the legendary for Kenny Digital and DC Comics. And no surprise there, Superman 1 is sitting at a $4,760 floor. I think there was a recent sale over $4,000 as well. Batman number 1. This comic sold for almost $4 million in its highest grade. Oh, no, it's $3 million. I think it was around $3 million. But it's a 1 of 1 as a 9.4. And I remember a lot of people coming out and talking about that, how insanely undervalued that was. This is the first appearance of Catwoman and also Joker, and also the first issue of Batman solo series. Right now, this legendary sits at just over $1,000. You have All American Comics number 16, first appearance of the Green Lantern. This is an insane grail. There are definitely less than 100 copies on the CGC census, and the legendary is sitting at $570. Detective Comics 31, $400. Less than 100 copies on here, and definitely less than 100 copies on the CGC census. Massive grail. First appearance of the Riddler. Here's Flash Comics number 1. This is also a massive grail, easily $1 million plus in its highest grade. First appearance of Flash, less than 100 copies, $337. There's a lot of opportunity here, guys. Wonder Woman number 1. And again, I'm just going to focus on the grails for the Golden Age. Robin, F.A. Robin, also very, very scarce. I mean, let's look at Robin, for example. Detective Comics 38. Oh, and logged out. All right, we'll go back to that. Sensation Comics number 1. This is a huge grail as well. $210. This one sold for, I think it was $500,000 to $1 million in its highest grade. First appearance of Lex Luthor. This comic actually isn't as expensive as I thought it would be, because guys, remember, you don't want to just look at the ceiling, you want to look at the floors. The floors you can get, I think, for a copy for a couple $1,000, which is actually, I mean, I feel like that's pretty cheap considering it's the first appearance of
for a comic like that old. Yeah.
I mean, arguably one of the most significant villains of all time. A couple $1,000. That's crazy. This one actually really surprises me. $145 for Wiz Comics number 1. Or sorry, Wiz Comics number 2. This is the first appearance of Captain Marvel. This is a massive, massive grail. There's like less than 70 copies on the CGC census. And right now you can get a legendary for $145. So between the legendaries and the physical graded copies on the CGC census, there's less than 300 in the world. I think a lot of it is because, you know, Shazam didn't do incredibly well. It was, the first one was pretty good, but the character has to continue to be relevant, right, for pop culture value. But the scarcity on the physical side helps a lot, but they still sell for quite a bit. Quite a bit. First appearance of Aquaman, Fun Comics number 37. Sorry, 73. $140. Amazing.
Some cheap Legos.
Yeah. Yeah, very cheap Legos. Green Lantern, this one's $110. This one's worth maybe a few $100,000 in its highest grade. This is a character that's going to be introduced in the DCU very soon. Kyle Chandler is portraying this character in a series that's going to be, apparently, it sounds awesome. They're kind of pitching it like these two detectives. The casting has been amazing. They're pitching it like two detectives who are investigating a murder. They're Green Lanterns. They're investigating a murder in the Midwest in America, and they're comparing it to True Detective. So it's going to be a very dark series. Very dark. And that's what I'm excited about, right? It's different tones. Like Superman apparently is it feels like very much like a comic book. It's very colorful and poppy. But the tones are going to be different for different films. They're not going to keep it the same. They're going to keep it fresh and different. And I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that from James Gunn. But yeah, these are all fantastic. And again, guys, you can reference our rankings to get an idea of some of our favorite comics. But yeah, there are some really good deals on Candy Digital right now.
Yeah. But no,
Definitely.
I mean, just following the footsteps of Marvel, if DCU is able to do the same and have the same, cultural impact, you're going to have more people who are fans, more people who grow up with it, eventually having more money, who are then eventually going to be able to buy these things in both physical and digital format. So,
And again,
I think if James Gunn is able to pull it off, hopefully we'll have a pretty big impact on these comics.
yeah, exactly. And again, keep in mind, these comics are accessible worldwide instantly. Accessibility is a huge factor. I think the big component holding it back right now is the way you can enjoy them. You just can enjoy them from your phone or laptop right now, but over time, it's going to change. I mean, I fully believe that you're going to be able to showcase these in your home and using AR technology in the future, in the metaverse. That's when these things are going to go nuts. Because right now, I feel like the bumpers are on for these things, but when the bumpers come off, it's game over. When that happens, it's just going to come down to technology. It's really coming down to the technology. I think a lot of it too, people were speculating that this tech was going to be coming a lot faster. I mean, we were talking 2021, 2022. Yeah, we're like 2 years away from everyone wearing AR glasses. No, man, it's going to be a lot longer than that.
No, it's not going to be a while.
Apple did release that they're going to have a new version of their AR glasses that are going to be consumer friendly in 2027. So that's 2 years from now. However, I do strongly believe we're going to see a lot of releases of AR technology before that from other companies. I think Apple, the Apple brand, they want to wow people. That's their foundation. They want to be the most innovative. They want to shock the world. So they're taking their time to make sure they do this one right. I think the first one that came out was great for developers, and it was a great introduction to where this technology can go.
Terrible for consumers.
It's not consumer friendly. I actually tried it maybe for the first time, maybe like 6 months ago. And after 20 minutes, dude, I'm sweating. My head's like, oh, it was a lot. It was amazing, though.
Still kind of disorienting, though.
You what?
It's still kind of disorienting.
Yeah. It's hard to get used to it. I mean, sure, you'll be able to get used to it over time, but yeah, it was too bulky. The battery didn't last long. I mean, you have to have like at least 4 or 5 hours of battery life, and they have to be thin glasses. That's the only way this is all going to work. But it's going to happen. Just a matter of when, not if. It's inevitable at this point, guys. The biggest companies in the world are spending billions of dollars on this tech. They know that this is the future, and it's going to happen. But we're used to instant gratification, in the digital space. So you just got to be patient. I really think that's going to pay off. Whoa, those are some big glasses. I concur. Those are some big glasses.
They're great for AR. There's lots of things, lots of space to project things onto.
I was looking for the first appearance of Swamp Thing, because that's another one. Apparently, I think James Mangold is going to direct that. James Mangold, guys, he did Walk the Line. He did Logan with Wolverine. Phenomenal director. He apparently is going to be taking over Swamp Thing, and it's going to be like a horror film.
You can't search for it, right?
Yeah, but I like the journey. I'm shocked that it hasn't popped up. Let's see. It's got to be. Where is it? What the hell? Swamp Thing, where are you? Did I miss it?
All right, I think either search for it or give up.
Quick, Spencer, let's talk about something else.
I got nothing for you.
Spencer, this is actually really cool too. I do love this, that they used an actual cover art of Superman 75, The Death of Superman, the most iconic page, as the cover. This cover art sold for, I believe, over $500,000, which is incredible. And so the only way you can actually own that outside of the physical one-of-one cover art is as an NFT, which is the cover for the comic, which is absolutely bananas. Wow, has it really gone that cheap? I didn't go all the way to 10, but I'll be shocked if it's gone all the way down like that. Holy moly. No? Last one. Here we go. And I don't know. All right. Well, anyways, That was fun. Well, guys, this has been a really fun episode. I really appreciate you all for joining. Make sure to get involved in our giveaway, and also make sure to keep a lookout for those bounties. If you're interested in going for those bounties, always check Stacker World to see if it's been minted, and let us know if you land it. Make sure to follow the instructions, especially for the count 123 or 1234 mint number. The first person to email us once they hit that number can claim the bounty. It's got to be the first person, and emails are time coded. Again,
Sean, I just texted you the link, by the way.
Oh, you texted it to me?
Yes. Search bar works wonders.
I'm surprised that it's not. There we go. $55. That's amazing. Wow. 170 of them. As a 98, this comic is sold for as high as $100,000. Let's see what there's any low mints. Let's check out the low mint situation. Yeah, that makes sense. That's awesome. Wow. So 92. 91 comic issue. All right. Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. As always, big shout out to our sponsor, Fanimal. If you haven't signed up for Fanimal yet, make sure to do so and get involved in their weekly curated mystery cases. They are freaking fantastic. Oh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Candlestick. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you.
Happy birthday, Sean. Woo!
And tomorrow, tag us. Give us a tag and let us know what your thoughts are. I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts on Superman. I've heard mostly positive reviews, but people who didn't like it actually hated it. Some people I know personally saw it, absolutely hated it. Some people called it refreshing. A lot of people called it a lot of fun. I think regardless of how people felt about the movie, because I've heard some bad reviews, but people, I feel universally have said Crypto has been amazing. Everyone's been super excited about Crypto, which is the first appearance comic is available on Candy. Very cool.
Crypto to the moon.
Crypto to the moon. Crypto to the moon. Well, I appreciate you all. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks again for joining. As always, we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.